Hi everyone, welcome back. So in the last video, we learned how we can do CRUD operation in Node.js, and we created these functions: create node function for creating a node, delete node function for deleting a node, and read node function for reading a node. What about update node function? Well, update was your assignment. I hope all of you had done your assignment. And in this video, we are going to create this feature, this show all nodes, and we will replace this console log with actual functionality today. Okay, so let's create this feature of showing all the nodes. So let me create another function. Let's call it get all nodes function .js, and for this getting all the nodes we'll need one module, that is this read directory module, okay, which Node.js provide. So this read dir is what we need. So let's import it. How do we import it? So we import like this. So let me copy it and let me paste it over here, and let's create a function and let's call that function get all nodes. So const get all nodes is equals to an arrow function, and we also have to export this function. So let's export this function. So how do we export? We write module dot exports equal the name of the function, that is get all nodes, and before writing the functionality, let's import it over here. So how do we import this? So we write const get all nodes equal require, and here the path of the function, so dot slash helper dot get all nodes, and let's call this function over here. So instead of doing this console log, let's call this function get all nodes, and after calling this function, let's close the interface. So rl dot close. Okay, and now let's write the functionality of this get node function. So first we'll use this read directory module to get all the files in this CLI nodes folder. So how do we get it? So let's see the syntax and let's go to this documentation. So we have to do const files equals to await read directory, and here the path. So let me copy it and let me come over here, and first we have to make this function asynchronous. So async, and then let's paste it over here. Okay, and instead of this path, let's paste the path dot slash. Okay, and let's see what we are getting. So I'm doing console log files, and let's run the application npm run start, and it is giving me an error. Let's see the error: cannot use import statement. Okay, so we have to use common JS module. So let's use common JS module const read directory. Instead of using this from, we'll use require, and let's wrap this inside parenthesis, and I think it should work now. So let's check whether it works or not, and we have to, and let's press 5, and it is showing me all the files, this helper index.js, node modules, package.json. Okay, and now we are going to filter the files that ends with .txt file. So const nodes is equal to files dot filter, and for each file we need file dot ends with dot txt. Okay, and let's see whether we are getting. So console log nodes. Okay, now let's run our application again. So npm run start 5, press enter, and it is showing us this empty array because we don't have any txt file right now. So if we don't have any node, let's see a message that you don't have any notes, please write a note. So if this notes dot length is equal 0, then it should show us this message: you don't have any note. What is note? Please write a new note. Okay, and then we should return, and if we find notes, then we will print notes. So console dot, we'll use this table method, console dot table, to print the notes. So all the notes. So let's again rerun our application, press enter, and let's press 5. So okay, it is showing you don't have any notes, please write a new note. And let's remove all this console log, this one. Okay, and this is the logic of our get all notes. So let's create some notes and let's check whether it works or not. So let's run our application, create a note and some gibberish. Okay, note created successfully. Here I can see node.txt file. Let's create one more one. Let's call it hello. And some gibberish. And we have like two notes, this note.txt and hello.txt. So now let's fetch all the notes. So let's run our application again, 5. And if you see, we have this hello.txt and node.txt in a tabular format. Why we are getting a table? Because we use this console.table method. Okay, so this is our get all nodes. And let's come to our index.js file, and this is how our index.js file looks like. One thing I can improve over here, I'm importing these 4 files from this helper folder. What I can do, instead of 4 imports, I can do 1 import. Okay, how can I do 1 import? Let me show you. First, basically right now what we are doing, we are importing this create, read, update, delete and get all from the folder helper in our index.js file. So what I want to create this index.js file in helper folder, and then I will import all the functions, all the helper function in this index.js file, and then I'll export it from this index.js file. So from here I have to do only 1 import. So instead of doing this 5 imports, I have to do only 1 import. So this pattern of creating a index.js file and exporting all the modules from that index.js file, you'll see this in big projects. So when we work on big projects, we do this a lot. So let's do this. So let's do this in our application too. So we have to create this index.js file in our helper folder to index.js, and we have to import all the helper functions here. Const create note equal require, and the path is dot slash create note. Let me copy this, and for read note dot slash read note, and for delete note, here we have to path delete note, and last const get all nodes equal require dot slash get all nodes. So we first imported all the modules in this index.js file, and now let's export it from this index.js file. So module dot exports equal an object of create node, read node, delete node and get all node. Okay, and we have exported from here. So now we can import all the modules from this one file, that is index.js file. So let's come to our index.js here, and let's try to import all these files from index.js. So const an object equal require, and the path is helper slash index.js, and here we will get all the modules: create node, read node, delete node, get all node. And now we are importing all these modules from this one file, that is index.js file. So we are importing everything from this index.js file. Previously we were importing everything, all the modules, from like separate modules. For example, create node from create node, read node from read node, update from update. And now we are importing create, update, delete, everything from this index.js file. Okay, so let's check whether it works or not. So let's run our application. Let's create a node. Let's call it hello2. Let's write something, and it created hello2. Let's also check whether we are able to delete the node or not. So let's run our application, deleting a node 4, and let's delete this node. Okay, and node is deleted successfully. And let's fetch all the nodes. So let's run our application, show all the nodes 5th. Okay, there is some issue, k is not defined. Okay, so we have this k, I don't know how it came here. Let's try to run this again, 5, and we are getting all the nodes. This is it, folks. We created our nodes application, a command line interface nodes application, where we can create a node, read a node, update a node, delete, and we can also fetch all the nodes. Okay, this was a very fun project. And in the comments you can tell me what did you like about this project. You can add more functionality, and you can tag me on LinkedIn after adding some more functionality. Okay, and let's continue our journey of learning Node.js from our next video. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.